So you can hold that one. Yeah.
It's so heavy. I'm Karen Beaumont here with
Desley Robinson, the current IBF and WBO middleweight world champion.
Thank you so much for opening up, letting us get to know you and taking me in the ring.
Thank you. Let's get into it.
All right, Des, I've got some questions to ask you today. When did you first fall in love with boxing?
Ooh, I started boxing when I was 14. So I had my first fight when I was about 14 and a half and fought a 27-year-old. And then after that, I was like, yeah, I'm loving it.
Wow, you
kept
started
doing
at
it.
14?
Yeah, I'm 37 now, so it's at 22 years.
You look great. Not that 37 is old at all, but you look incredible.
So I'm getting there. Yes, straight nose still, so it's good.
Yes. What made you step into the ring for the first time?
Grew up in a small town, so wasn't much to do. Sort of at 14, I was a bit of I wouldn't say the best kid, I wasn't naughty, but I I wanted more to life. So I left home really early, I left home at 15. And yeah, I sort of wanted to prove a point that, I was untouchable. I was, I wanted to prove that I was, I was a girl. Girls never fought back then. I wanted to prove people wrong as well, because a lot of the boys fought. And it was sort of like, a girl boxing, and I want to fight, and they were like, you're not going to fight, and I was like, watch me. So yeah, it was sort of like a bit of prove a point, fitness, and to be honest, it kept me on the straight and narrow as well. So leaving home quite early at 15, you're open to a whole world of temptation and a lot of bad things, and I hung around a lot of older people too as well. So boxing sort of, I would guess, saved me, kept me on the straight and narrow, and now it's my life, and yeah, this is my job.
That is crazy. So where was home for you?
Moranbah. So it's about, if you drive, it'd probably take about 14 hours to drive from here. So it's out in the bush, small little mining town, no beaches. We had like one small pool, it was very in the bush. So yeah.
And then where did you leave to?
Moved to Mackay, which was 2 hours away. Opened my own gym up, ran my own gym. So I was 18, running my own show. Then couldn't really get any fights. So from 14 onwards, it was about probably like 17, I struggled to get fights. You'd say I kind of got a name for myself, I guess. Couldn't get fights, and I'm tall too, so I'm a middleweight, so I'm 72 kilos, so I'm not a small person. So that in itself is kind of hard to get fights as well. So sort of moved there aiming to get more fights. Got a few more there, and then the opportunity rose. Opportunity rose. Edit that out. Rose. To come to Brisbane and try out for the Commonwealth Games and the Olympics and all that sort of stuff. So shut my gym down. Me and my son walked away from a relationship, walked away from everything, left with the clothes on my back, and me and my son came to Brisbane and started over. So there's a lot to it. It's a massive journey, and it's been 22 years of fighting and struggling, and now we're at the top, so it does pay off.
Yeah, quite the journey, but look how far you've come.
Yeah, it's crazy, yeah.
I feel like the best thing you can do is leave your hometown.
Yeah, exactly. So because it's so small, you either you go to the mines, or I feel you do a hairdressing apprenticeship, or and I'm not a hairdresser.
I did that. That was my first real job, and it sucked so bad.
Yes.
It was the lowest paid trade in Australia.
Yeah.
Lower than any man trade, anything, $8 an hour.
That's crazy.
On my feet, 12 hours a day, 6 days a week.
Yeah, far. I could probably shave a head, but that's about it.
Yeah.
So I was I did do the mines. I was in the mines for a little while when I was in my 20s. I wanted more to life, and I had goals, and I wanted to be the world champ. I wanted to go to the Olympics. I wanted to prove to everyone, and especially too, I left home on a mission. I was like, I'm gonna do what I set out to do, and kept that in my mind, and just kept pushing forward. So
love that mentality. Who was your biggest inspiration growing up?
Ooh, I did a lot of athletics. So a lot of the athletes I grew up watching. So Anthony Mundine, Green, all the sort of boxers. Yeah, a lot of the other boxers, and there actually wasn't a lot of women boxing at the time when I sort of got into it. So I sort of followed more of the athletes. So it was like Kathy Freeman and all that sort of stuff. Is there any other women boxers that inspire you now? At the moment, all the women inspire me. We all inspire each other in our own certain ways. I'm all for supporting women, especially mums. I feel like I'm all for mums. I'm a mum myself. I've got 3 kids and
3.
Yeah.
I know you said you had a son, but 3. You're doing. You
3-year-old.
look incredible.
Thank you. 3-year-old, 4-year-old. and a 13-year-old. So, and I've been on my own on this journey with them in tow. So it's like any other mothers or any woman too that wants to get out there, and they might not have that support at home. They're on their own. They've got to do the cooking, the cleaning, the mowing, all the manly jobs, and they're in as well boxing and trying to support their family. Like, I'm all for that. So yeah, you don't have to be famous or just anyone who really has the balls to get into the ring and prove a point.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy. You must have such a full life. Being an athlete, being a mom.
Chaos, absolute chaos.
Have you faced any stereotypes or doubters as a female fighter?
Earlier on, because I started boxing so early, it wasn't really acceptable for a woman to fight. Like, and being in a small town, I had a lot of tough dudes that were training there, a lot of footballers, a lot of old school guys as well. So it's like, yeah, that was sort of the main thing at the start. That, and then I think too now, like, you still get a couple, people will comment here and there and be like, oh, but I don't get a lot of negative stuff. Like, a lot of people are really, really supportive. So people are always going to have something to say, and unfortunately, they're the ones that aren't really doing anything with their life. So yeah.
So true. Well, at least I feel like support with women in sport has really grown a lot in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So at least that's good.
Massive. So like I said, started really early. I've gone, town, bigger town. I'm in Brisbane. Just got signed with MVP, which is ran by Jake Paul and Nikisa. So yeah, thank you. So they're doing massive things for women's boxing. So 22 years later, I'm like, finally, we've got some sort of, massive exposure. Worldwide, America, and Americans love it. Everything's so much bigger and more, I just put so much more effort into everything. So
established.
Yes, yeah. And that's what we were missing as women boxers and athletes, is that exposure and that sort of support to say, like, look, these girls are doing just what the men are doing, if not better. Like, so yeah, it's good.
That's awesome. So you're getting over to America a bit?
Yeah, so not long came back from New York. We went over there and watched the fight night there, which was really good. Amanda Serrano fought Katie Taylor again for the third fight. Watched that, got to mingle, got to meet everybody, got to meet Jake Paul, which was really cool. He's really sweet, and then he's really nice.
What was your impression?
Yeah, he's cool. I was expecting, like, he's quite big and loud and that on YouTube and on TV and that, but he's super chill. So yeah, quite relaxed, interested in what I had to say, interested in what, why we were there. And you could tell that he obviously just wants the best for the women athletes, and that's what they're doing. So it's what Australia is missing, unfortunately. And a lot of us girl boxers are getting signed overseas.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's amazing. That's so good for you. Congratulations.
Yeah, huge.
I'm excited. What's been your proudest moment in your boxing career so far?
I think obviously winning the IBF and the WBO world titles. That's just been massive. The proudest thing too is obviously every fight having my son walk out with me. Walking out makes me sad. Walking out with me, holding my belts.
Can you show us your belts?
Yeah.
Just quietly, side story. These are beautiful.
This one. So this one's a WBO, so you can hold that one. Yeah.
It's so heavy.
And this one's the IBF. So massive. Like, these are awesome. So it just shows, obviously hard work, and yeah, not everyone gets these. So yeah, and I think too, like, having my son walk out with these is that we came from nothing, and he's been on the journey with me. So now to go, look, we've made it. There's still 2 more belts that I want to get, but I'm pretty stoked with where we're at. So,
yeah, it's so huge, especially where you came from. I find it really inspiring when people came from nothing, but they still appreciate it and are very humbled throughout their journey.
Yes, 100%. You have to be.
You're still hungry for more.
Yes, 2 more, and I'm going to get them.
What's a day in your training life like?
Oh man, chaos. So
like all your days
it's
are big
so
chaos.
bad. Organized chaos, but I make it happen. So whether my life's always been like that. Like, if I had a school assignment, it'd be the night before, but I winged it, and I'm like, yep, got a good result on that. So I think I do well under pressure. But we've got, so in the morning, so in fight camp, I'll get up in the morning. I'll either do cardio in the morning or weights, depending on the day. So we train every single day, have Sundays off. Morning will be cardio or weights. Then through the day, race around like a headless chook, get groceries. After obviously my morning session, get up, organize all the kids, drop all the kids off, do my morning session, go from there, race around, get groceries, run errands, whatever I've got to do. Try and get recovery in, but it's hard to do that because that obviously takes time. Then in the afternoon, I've got my afternoon session, do my boxing. I box every single day. Do that for a few hours. When that's finished, pick up all the kids, go home, and then do all the dinner, the bath, the bed, clean the house, go to sleep, get up, do it all again the next day. So Saturdays we do sparring, so I spar with Shay, another world champ. So yeah, quite busy. Sundays, we usually try and have a rest, or go for a walk or do some sort of family thing. So yeah, obviously with having little kids, they're still quite reliant on me. So it's like, they can't go get themselves dinner or anything. I'm still sort of, you know, cooking, and yeah, they're still so little. So
that is crazy. I feel like a lot of moms can lose themselves, obviously.
100%.
Like it is a full-time priority.
Yep.
You kind of can become on the back burner, but it's so
Yep.
inspiring that you're able to still find time for yourself and
Yeah.
for your sport, and still make time for your kids
That's
as well.
it.
Because it could go the other way where, you know, they care more about the sport than they do the kids, but you're really
yes.
juggling it all.
Yeah, they come
somehow.
with me. So like just on the weekend, Shay and I were sparring, and we had our kids there. So they were running around, and Shay had to warm down, and they were running circles around her and my kids as well. And I was like, oh my God. But you just do it because you're a mum and that's what you do. And I feel like if they weren't involved, they wouldn't enjoy it. So, and we're lucky enough to have gyms and coaches that are also family people, and they understand what it's like to bring kids, because we don't have the luxury of leaving them with dad. So, or, you know, if we go away, I've got to pay for a babysitter, or, so yeah, it's good to have them there, and they learn, and they don't punch each other up yet, but I'm sure that's got to come.
They must love it though, getting active.
They do.
And, you know,
Yeah.
at least they're not like iPad kids, they're running
No.
around in a gym, which must be so
is
much
good.
healthier for
Because
them.
there's been, you know, like some kids grow up in pubs, like sleeping under
I
the table.
did. I feel like you did too. You're a pub kid.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
sitting under there.
One
Can I
more
have a
drink,
chippy?
one
Yeah.
more drink. I'm
Oh,
like,
come
oh, I want to go home.
You got your pillow.
Yes, yeah. But they love it. The daycare mums are awesome. Like without them, I'd be stuffed. Like the girls today wore like my supporter shirts, and they got Go Mum on the front of them. And yeah, so I walk into the daycare, and the kids are getting older now, and they're, you're a boxer, Mum. And they're like, hey. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
No, that's sick. What's your go-to pre-fight ritual or superstition?
Or pre-fight ritual. So when we travel a lot for fights, obviously, because it's hard to get fights. So my coach and I always go for a walk the day of the fight. A walk and talk. That's all it is. Walk and talk, go over the fight. He's really cool. I'd be absolutely lost without him. So we go and get a coffee, go for a walk around. Usually we're either staying somewhere where there's like, you know, like a wharf or somewhere, like walk around the water and coffee shops and whatnot. So do that, walk and talk, have a coffee, have brekkie, go back and chill, and then obviously we get in and get the job done. So it's just a sort of calm reminder of like why we're here, what job we've got to get done. We don't sort of overcomplicate it either. Like I'm pretty lucky to have quite a very calm coach and a corner that, you know, you get back to the corner, it's like, you know, calm and breathe, because I'm a pretty hypo sort of person as well. So that makes a massive difference. But yeah, my go-to when I was younger was actually so Aussie, a bread roll, the hot chook, some cheese and tomato.
Yeah.
I'd eat that before I fought, and then wondered why. I'm like, I don't really feel that great when I fight.
The hot chook and the fresh rolls.
So Australia. Smack it on, get in, and then fight.
No mayonnaise?
No, got tomato sauce. Tomato
tomatoes.
sauce on everything.
That's even more Australian.
I know. Yeah, skull of 4 eggs to get in and fight. No, I wouldn't do that.
What's the hardest punch you've ever taken, and how did you recover?
The hardest punch wasn't a punch, it was a headbutt. So actually, we were fighting, it was a bit of a messy sort of fight. My opponent kept coming in and up. So, I mean, she did land some punches, we both exchanged punches. And as she sort of she come up and around, and I felt like this like crack, and I was like, oh, on the side of my head. It kind of just like stung, and I was like, oh, what the hell? Anyway, didn't know anything happened. Kept fighting, and I could taste blood, and I was like, yep, it's blood. I'm like, not my blood, thinking like, yes, I've got you. Like, you know, if you're a fighter and it's like their nosebleeds, you just keep going for it. So kind of like an animalistic type of thing. So I'm not weird, but the blood, and I was like, I could taste blood, and I was like, yeah, sweet. And I was like, my lip was sort of flapping, and I'm like, that's my blood. So anyways, it was sort of towards the end of the round, and got back to the corner. I could see my coach was like, ooh. Got back to the corner, and it was split. So I got 4 stitches in it.
You can't even see it.
No.
Just ever so slightly.
Yeah, sometimes you can. So if I'm in the sun, you can, but they did a good job. Anyway, that happened, and then I don't know what I was thinking. So in the corner, when you're a fighter, you get adrenaline to stop the bleeding. So if they got massive cuts, you get adrenaline on it. I thought in my head, if you ate it, you died. So after the cut, I got it in my mouth, and they did the adrenaline, and it dripped in my mouth, and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. So the next round, all I thought about was like, I'm gonna die from this adrenaline. My coach is
Not
like,
the
what?
fact that you're in the ring.
Not in
like,
the ring, no. And I was
fighting,
thinking, I was
the
like,
adrenaline.
I'm gonna die, like gonna have a heart attack. Like anyway, got through there, and my coach was like, what the hell's going on? And then he was just like, I'd only just lost the fight, but afterwards, I hate needles. Like I've got tattoos, and like I'm just not about needles. Got stitched up, had to wait all night for the the doctor, laid on the ground, washed it off, stitched it up with no local anesthetic, waxed 4 stitches in there, and off I went. Like, so like mentally, you've got to think it doesn't hurt. And just keep pushing on. So yeah, but that was a bit of sort of realization to think like, no matter what happens, try not to think about it.
Oh my God. You're built different.
No, no adrenaline, thanks.
Do you ever watch your opponent's fights before your fight?
I never used to back in the day because on the night they can fight differently. I get an idea of how they fight, but as we've sort of progressed through the years, I've made it sort of a priority to see their flaws, to see how they fight, because yes, you can change like and fight different on the night, but you still revert to your basics and what's sort of been, you know, drilled into you over the years growing, you know, through boxing. So now I do, never used to, but now, yeah, definitely. So my coach is really good. He's the brains behind it. So he's a wizard. So he does a lot of the, you know, the looking, finds the videos, and then through training, we work every training camp. We work on something new. So you've got some boxers up there that just keep doing the same old thing. But I think I'm lucky enough that I'm quite a young 37-year-old, and each fight we change, we grow, we get better. So I think I've still got a few more years left. So I'm not finished yet. I've still got lots to improve on, but that's the sport.
Any guilty pleasures when you're not training, even though it doesn't really sound like you take much downtime?
Cheese, cheese and crackers.
Cheese. Well, what's your cheese?
The Merciful Valley, like the cheap ass, like, from like anywhere, it's a little block. I'm like, oh, cheese and nibblies and cabana. So bad. That I've got, I do have like a pizza oven at home, so we'll make up like homemade pizzas and stuff, a little bit social. But mate, you put a cheese platter in front of me and that, or like cob loaf.
Oh yeah, I love a good cob. And have you had a cob loaf where you melt the cheese in it as well?
I've looked at that. I'm too lazy to make that. Yeah.
Yeah. Next time you've got some downtime when you're not training, you can enjoy that.
But yeah, that's about it. But other than that, I train and enjoy training, so I don't want to feel like crap. But yeah, I eat relatively pretty good. Yeah. So yeah.
You got to.
Have to. Yeah.
What advice would you give to any girls who are wanting to get into boxing?
Ooh, I would. Any advice? Stick to it. You're going to get people that are going to say, boys or girls really, that you can't. You're going to get doubters. You're going to get people that, oh, you can't box. But just, stick to it. Don't listen to them. My biggest thing is prove them wrong. Prove whoever it is wrong. And I feel like too, girls get affected by their exes a lot. I'm not, saying anything nasty towards men or anything. It goes both ways, men and, men and females. But my personal, experience is that, I have had exes that have been quite negative and quite nasty and tried to sabotage my career and whatnot. So I feel like if you can separate that, that's sort of the biggest factor, because it's an emotional attachment to that person too that you had. Don't listen to them, prove them wrong. But I think just, obviously stick to it. Learn your basics. Basics are always going to get you through. So people on TV look great, boxers, whatever, but you've got to learn your basics before you could do anything like that on TV. So and it's not going to be easy at all. Like, it's hard work, like really hard. It looks easy, it's not.
Yeah, especially when you're already at the top and you've obviously signed this huge contract overseas. It's easy for people to see from the outside and be like, oh, you're so lucky, but hearing your backstory, you've worked so incredibly hard
and
over such a long time to get there.
Exactly, like 22 years, it does not happen overnight. Like, you'll win, you'll lose, you'll have expectations, and just stay away from, obviously, temptation and negativity. You need to be surrounded by people that are like-minded and want the best for you as well. So I feel like if you've got mates or whatever, oh, come and have a drink. So they're not your mate, hang around like-minded people, and your world will it'll grow. Yeah,
so true. Even on a personal level, but especially being an athlete, I can imagine it's important to have really good influences around you.
Yes, 100%,
Do you feel you've had to train harder to prove yourself?
100%. I've always, coming from a smaller town as well, you're always classed as the underdog. So coming from a little town, fighting in the big smoke, they sort of go, oh, this little country kid, who is she? She's got nothing. So yes, 100% I agree with that.
And especially being a female.
And a female, yes. And that's obviously, like I said earlier, the big driving point is that, yes, you can. And that's one of my sort of quotes you would say is, I usually say, yes, you effing can, but we'll keep it G-rated. I always say, yes, you can do it. So I've been a PT as well since I was 16. So a lot of my clients and that, like, when they walk into my gym, I'm like, right, the word can't is completely banned. The minute you say that, you've got burpees. And they're like, oh, okay.
Oh,
so
the burpees will do it.
If you say I can't, you're screwed, because you can. You absolutely can. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much. It was so nice getting to know you and your journey. It's been quite the roller coaster.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, and yeah, looking forward to what's to come.